Hey everyone, just opening this episode with a little disclaimer. We had to record this week's episode in the car with our 2-year-old son in the back seat, Callum, and he had a lot to add to the conversation. If you don't mind, just bear with us. The audio is not the best, but we did the best that we could. Hope you'll still enjoy it, and as always, happy haunting.
Schorr Manor. We are doing a traveling podcast, I guess you could call it today. We are going through our neighborhood and the surrounding areas and kind of checking out everybody else's decorations, because all you home haunters out there know we all do this to see if we need to step our game up or not. I mean, you know, we always want to.
Here's our first home. We've got what looks like some ghosts haunting the trees, along with some pumpkins in the yard. And is that a ghost or a skeleton hanging in the window? I can't quite tell.
It's a ghost.
That looks pretty good. What do you think, Callum?
Do you like it?
I like it.
He likes it. He likes it.
But as we started this podcast, we drove by a house that seriously has like a present in their window. It looks very Christmassy, so I'm not sure what's going on there.
I think Callum just summed up my thoughts on that one.
So we just thought we would kind of go around and share some of the ideas that we see. We get a lot of our ideas off of Pinterest, of course, and YouTube videos from other people.
And some documentaries.
A few documentaries.
Documentaries.
Yeah. We'll get into some of those later.
We always like to drive around and check out what other people do, mainly just to see that our house is better than everyone else's, and B, to see if there's something really cool somebody else is doing that we could incorporate in our yard too.
Yeah, it's not copying or theft. It's what's the word I'm looking for? It's the sincerest form of flattery as well. Yeah, we have some decorations in this yard. We've got some pumpkins all over the porch.
Jack-o'-lanterns.
Yep. The dog on the front porch looks real.
I think he is.
That may be all we have for this particular road. I'm going to have to turn off and find another one.
It is funny. There's a documentary that we watched. Oh, there's some jack-o'-lanterns and a scarecrow.
Yep, that's pretty good. Some more jack-o'-lanterns here in the yard. I spoke too soon.
So, we watched, is it The American Scream, I think, where they're talking about home haunting, and they said that when you have somebody in your neighborhood that does a lot like we do, it kind of shames other people into putting out decorations.
Yes.
And it's very true, because we have lived in our house for 5 years, and except for the very first year, we have been the most decorated house on the block. And please just ignore Callum back here.
Hey, here's another ghost. We missed this guy.
But it is very true, because we see more and more people in our neighborhood put out decorations every year, or the same houses put out more decorations every year. So we do feel like that is true. We are shaming people into decorating their house.
You think we should use the word shaming, or are we inspiring?
I think
Inspiring.
Inspiring.
Sure, if you want to put a positive twist on that. So we're out driving around. We thought while we're driving around looking at decorations, we would also talk about our previous haunted house / pumpkin patch adventures. As everyone knows, oh my gosh, that house, oh wait, that's our house.
Yep, that's ours.
We do have a brand new headstone out. We just got back from vacation and in Gulf Shores, and we found a really cool tombstone at Old Time Pottery. So if there's a store like that anywhere near you, you might want to go check those out.
It's a very good tombstone.
It is.
Yes. It goes well with our lawn, I think.
It does. But anyways, getting back to what I was saying before, as we have established, I love Halloween, but nothing super scary. So I am not a haunted house person at all. Matt
It's true, but I haven't been to one in a very long time.
No, he hasn't.
We have a clever use of some spider webbing here. Oh, and check this out. They have their own cemetery.
That's nice.
That's pretty good.
Very nice.
Now we have some pumpkins hanging from a tree. That's pretty clever.
Yeah.
You gotta love that, right?
Actually, those little lanterns.
Hey, look, a witch. A witch.
Oh, that's a great looking witch.
Daddy.
Callum has a lot to say for this podcast.
So I guess I will start with pumpkin patches. Those are one of my favorite things to do. I love going on hay rides. I love picking out a pumpkin. One of the best ones that we have ever been to was actually in Louisville with my sister and her husband. And they actually took you out on a tractor to the pumpkin patch, and you picked your pumpkin out there and then came back. And then, of course, they did have some that were already picked for people who didn't want to go out there. But Callum really loved it. We ended up just having to go back because he was so little at the time that all he wanted to do was ride the tractor.
Yeah.
But hay rides are always one of my favorite things to do. When I was in 5th grade, I had a sleepover, and my parents took us all out on a hayride back in the woods, and it was super fun then, and it's just one of my favorite things to do. Also, our luck in growing pumpkins just really has not.
No, our pumpkin patch did not do well.
I mean, the good news is we increased our pumpkins
By
by
what?
100%.
That's right, 100% improvement. I think that counts for something.
The bad news is it only produced one pumpkin. So.
Yeah, it's a sad day.
But I just love the entire experience. Even if we grew our own pumpkins, even if we had our own pumpkin patch, we probably would still go to other people's just because I love the whole experience of doing that. And a lot of them will serve like apple cider or homemade jam and that kind of thing, and Matt really enjoys that.
Yep.
We haven't gone yet this year. We'll be going next weekend to one.
One thing, speaking of pumpkins and speaking of Louisville, the jack-o'-lantern spectacular out there that we didn't manage to get there this year, but last year, man, that was fantastic. I don't know that we ever got an actual count of how many pumpkins they have, but it was easily.
Over 5,000, I believe.
Was that it? I knew it was the thousands, but yeah, you get in there and it's just pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns. That's all you see are pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns, nothing but.
They're all carved into like extreme lengths. If you check out our page, our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Schorr Manor, we have some pictures from that trip that we took last year. And it was just, I mean, I think it's called like the Jack-o'-lantern Spectacular or something, and it really, truly was spectacular.
Oh yeah, and the immense talent on display with some of those carvings. It's the sort of stuff, like I fancy myself an amateur jack-o'-lantern carver, but these guys, I mean, they were just phenomenal. There was like stuff from Sesame Street, there was Dracula from the Hammer Horror, and then there was also Dracula, Bela Lugosi, the real Dracula, the only Dracula. I think that's important to stress.
There were religious ones, there were Disney ones, there were, of course, horror ones. Somebody did a really awesome one of like the two heads, one on each side.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just amazing. And I saw a lot of our friends and family went to Dollywood over this past week because here where we live in Tennessee, this was fall break. And I saw that Dollywood has done something similar. I don't know really anything about that. I don't know if they carved them themselves or what. But they had some pretty amazing ones as well.
That's something we'll have to put on our Halloween checklist to go some year. Make sure we go check that out. My parents went there this year and they had a lot of good things to say. Moving on, I guess, from jack-o'-lanterns, getting back to haunted houses. I'll pass this one over to Drew. Drew recently attended a haunted house up in Pennsylvania called Reaper's Revenge. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Tell us about this place.
I went up to visit my fiance Shelly. I love you, baby.
Shout out to Shelly. Hey, Shelly.
How's it going, Shelly?
So I went up to visit her. She bought us 2 tickets to a haunted house called Reaper's Revenge. And it is probably the best haunted house I have ever been to. It makes Talon Falls look like Disney World.
Talon Falls is, of course, the haunted attraction near where we grew up in West Kentucky, which I have fond memories of. We went there a few times. And we had good times. The big difference that you mentioned to me before we started recording was Talon Falls has like 3 or 4 separate things that you attend, but at Reaper's Revenge, it's like everything is all together as one ginormous.
It is all connected, yes. You start out with a hayride, and you come across Michael Myers, the girl from The Ring, Freddy Krueger. You go through Alice in Wonderland, but the big thing is, I've never experienced this at a haunted house, is that before you start, you have to sign a waiver, because the actors will touch you and grab you. I mean, they won't like be violent with you, but they can like grab your leg, kind of stroke your hair, and they will grab you and put you in cages. But it was an amazing experience. It's all connected with the hayride, and then you get off the hayride, you walk through a carnival with a real giant Ferris wheel. You walk through, there's clowns coming at you, and then you get back on the hayride, and you do a little more traveling on there where monsters and creatures and zombies. And oh yeah, speaking of zombies, there's one part where zombies dance to Thriller.
Oh, I'm already sold on this.
And there's a part where you walk through where it is pitch black. You cannot see a thing, and there's hands coming out and grabbing you, and strobe lights and everything like that. And
that would mess me up pretty bad.
But the whole experience was incredible. I would definitely love to go back there. I mean, there's haunted houses in Nashville that I've been to that are good, but this was probably the best I've ever been to.
When's your... See, Calvin's pretty impressed. When's your... When's your next trip to go visit Shelly for Halloween? I'll go with you.
She is coming down here in a couple of weeks.
And we're very excited, Shelly.
She'll be coming to celebrate Halloween with us. And
now, I know that for anybody who's not aware of Drew's life story, you're going to be getting married next summer. So with that in mind, maybe next Halloween, if Shelly decides to go visit family, you'll let me tag along. That way I can go with you guys to this haunted attraction.
If you want to do that, you are perfectly invited. I would love to experience that with you and Amanda.
No.
I'm pretty sure Amanda won't be doing that one. I don't know if you mentioned this, the glow sticks are how they're able to determine who they can touch and who they can't.
Yes. You have to wear a glow stick, and that's only on the hayride part.
Nope.
I can handle Talon Falls, for those of you that aren't from here, is one of the biggest haunted attractions around here. It's actually in Paducah, Kentucky, which is about 30 minutes north of where Matt and I are from. And we went a couple of years. We went, 2 years, maybe 3 years in a row?
I think so, yeah.
We did the haunted hayride because I could sit in the very middle and have Matt and Drew on each side of me as protection from anything. And then one year they had it was called a Sinister Circus in 3D. Well, I think they still have it, but that was the first year they had it. And I actually found it very stress relieving because I am the type of person haunted houses want. Like, I scream at everything. Matt was like, I'm never going with you ever again because I'm deaf from me screaming so much. But I'm the kind of person that they want. And so we did that. I went through the walk-through attraction one time when I was a lot younger. Will not ever do it again. I ran into one of the workers like full speed because he jumped out at the person in front of me and I was trying to get out of the room. And then another one, I screamed in his face and I was like, leave me alone! And he backed off pretty quickly. So.
Well, we've entered a new neighborhood now.
Yeah,
And we've got some houses here. This one's got some ghosts floating around over the bushes, which is pretty interesting. This house right next to it, I think, is most interesting to me because we've actually got pumpkins lining the sidewalk up to their house where it looks like we have a clown hanging off the...
Clown is trying to get to a witch, is what it looks like, and there is a scarecrow that has fallen I think he's supposed to be sitting upright, but he's kind of fallen out of the tree. We had some wind up here from Hurricane Michael. Knocked over a few of our jack-o'-lanterns as well.
Yeah, it's been a better part of one evening picking all of that up. We lucked out though. It wasn't too terribly too bad.
It wasn't too bad. We've definitely had worse wind damage.
That's for
in
sure.
the past.
Yeah.
Now, going back to haunted houses, I'm in the same boat y'all are, that Halloween should be fun. Like, I love horror movies, and I wasn't part of that podcast, but, you know, to me it should be fun. And there's a documentary that's not really a companion to An American Scream, but it's called Haunters, about it's more like torture porn, almost.
Yeah, I believe they're called McCamey Manor is the one that you're talking about. That's why when you told me you had to sign a waiver for this one, that's the first thing I thought about was McCamey Manor. I was like, oh my gosh,
No.
what did Drew go and do?
And I just don't see how those are fun, you know? Live snakes and spiders crawling on you and
Yeah, I
throwing
agree.
buckets of blood on you, and
I agree. I have to cut in real quick. We spotted another house here where we've got a whole setup of Nightmare Before Christmas, looks like.
Sally and Zero,
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
which we love.
you.
So,
Yes, are there any home haunters out there who don't enjoy Nightmare Before Christmas?
I highly doubt it.
I would believe that This Is Halloween is on everybody's playlist.
now is that a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie?
That's a good question.
It's both.
It's both.
Or is it a Thanksgiving movie?
It came out on Thanksgiving, didn't it?
Yes.
It seems to be mostly associated with Halloween these days, since the hero is most definitely the king of Halloween Town.
Wow, we have turned into basically the 1980s, 1990s neighborhood where like every house has some decorations.
Yeah, this is pretty good. We've got a cemetery and some ghosts over on the left, and a scarecrow as well at another house.
There's actually a guy out right now working on his decorations, and the way that he's sitting, I thought he was part of the decorations.
You know, Drew mentioned Haunters, and then also the American Scream, which I think we included in our list of Halloween movies in that episode. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think we definitely drew a lot of inspiration from the people on that flag.
The American Scream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even before I had seen it, I would have this vision of what I wanted our house to be like, and I never want our house to be done. I always want there to be something new. Callum, he's faking everyone. Just so you know. For the past few years, and probably the next couple of years, it's going to be something really big. So I'm not going to say there's always going to be something really big that's new, because, I mean, you're just eventually going to run out of space.
Yeah.
But I always want there to be some kind of addition to it every year, or something that's different every year. Most recently, my mom shared on Facebook where this lady who is 80 years old had decorated her house for Halloween. And one thing I thought was very interesting is on her porch, she has this really big porch, and she actually has, 10 to 20 skeletons set up, and it's like, it's a funeral scene.
And she did this all herself.
I thought that was really, really interesting, because I've never seen that before as a decoration. Now, if you go, I think some haunted houses do it as part of their attraction, but,
That's red.
Callum, be nice.
That's
So,
red.
this is why Callum is never
That's
awake
it.
when we do these.
This is why we leave him out.
Because
That's
currently
it.
getting spit on here in the backseat.
That's red.
Yeah,
I
you're
thought that
a
was
cool
very
looking home.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Got some
There's
spider webbing
spider
and-
webs and some
That's red.
blow up jack-o'-lanterns.
It looks very, very good.
I'm really not a fan of inflatables for Halloween.
No,
Apparently neither is Callum.
Callum hates them, it would seem.
I don't mind them for Christmas, because to me they just
That's all.
seem more Christmassy. Now, I have seen videos on YouTube where people that you actually walk through. And those I'm okay with. I would actually love to have one for our driveway to walk through it. But as far as like just inflatables, I'm not a huge fan. No, except for the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, which I think Home Depot had last year or something, and he was like 20 foot tall. I mean, he was insanely. That one I really did like.
I'll just say Halloween is the most wonderful time of the year.
Absolutely.
And it should be about having fun, but also being safe. And it is for children and the children inside all of us.
Yeah, Halloween's fun. Have fun. We're just a couple weeks away from it now. So
As we always say here at Schorr Manor,
happy haunting.